Hi, I'm Paul Wilson, creator of the Body Swing and the director of the Paul Wilson Golf School at Bears Best Las Vegas. In this tip, I'm talking about impact and forward shaft lean. So if you don't know what that is, that's what allows pros to get those nice, pure sounding, compressed irons when they hit the golf ball. So if you want to hit your irons more pure, then you should be getting forward shaft lean, but you have to understand what it is and then of course how to get it. All right, hopefully you enjoy this tip. If so, give me a thumbs up. Then click on the red button to subscribe to my channel. Click on the bell so you're notified when I post new tips. And please tell all your friends about my tips. You know, there's a lot of other people out there that need help too. So forward shaft lean through impact is a pretty popular topic these days. Pros have their club shaft leaning forward, whereas amateur golfers typically have the club either vertical or leaning behind at impact. So that is because your average player or amateur player is typically doing a chicken wing through impact. So if you do a chicken wing, that's when the lead arm is buckling, and if that happens, the grip on the golf club falls backwards through impact. It might be vertical, but usually it's backwards a little bit. So if the club is leaning forward, you de-loft the club. If the shaft is leaning backwards, you add loft. So if you're adding loft, the ball is just basically being deflected off the face. It's going to go way too high, too much backspin, and you're not going to get that nice compressed sound on your golf clubs. So we do want the shaft leaning forward. Now, as I explain this, you'll understand that you don't have to purposely do this. That's what I'm trying to get at here. I don't want you thinking or trying to make this happen. And why I'm saying that is because if you try to get the shaft leaning forward, you're going to lock everything up here. If you lock everything up, you're never allowing the club to fully release. Well, if you lock it up too much, the club may come off the ground because you're creating too much angle here. You can see how the club is off the ground here. That would lead to top shots, thin shots, that sort of thing. Also, if you lock it up too much, the face may come through open. All right, so I know you might, mean well by trying to make it lean, but if you're trying to do that manually, you're going to have a very difficult time doing that. All right, so here is why the club is leaning, or the shaft is leaning forward when you hit the ball. So what we're going to do is start off with our feet together. Okay, if I have my feet together, I have one axis in my golf swing. My arms are stretched out and I've got the club shaft here. So that makes a letter Y. So what's going to happen is the club is going to be hinging in the backswing. As it comes to hit the ball, it's going to rehinge. So we're going to recreate the letter Y at impact. Then it's going to start rehinging on this side. So it would basically look like this. Club's coming in like this. It makes the letter Y, and then it's starting to rehinge. Everything is happening right here. That's with my feet together. In our golf swing, we spread our feet apart. So we now have two axes in our golf swing. We've got two lower parts to the axis. We've got one upper. So when I coil back, I'm going to create an axis here. I'm going to hit the ball. That's going to tilt me backwards like this. And then I'm going to move forward, creating the second axis. So if I hit the golf ball tilted as opposed to being vertical, that moves the letter Y ahead of the ball. So if I start here, here's my feet together with the letter Y. Now I'm going to spread my feet apart and tilt my body. So if I tilt my body, the Y is over here now. So now if I take the club head and I move it back to the ball, right there, you can now see that the club is leaning. That's because the club is not at the letter Y yet. So that's why we get the lean. We're not sitting here trying to make it lean. It's due to having the right fundamentals and the club releasing properly and our body tilt as we hit the ball, which gives us the lean. So I'm going to hit a ball for you. I'm going to show you that my club is leaning forward, yet I have never worked on that one practice session in my life. So if I have it without ever working on it, I must be getting it somehow. So that's what I'm getting at. It's happening due to having the right fundamentals in your swing, not because you're trying to make it happen. All right, so I'm going to hit this ball right here. We'll kind of slow it down as I come through impact, and you will see that the club shaft is leaning forward. Okay, so did you see that? Did you see how the club, my hands are coming in like this. My hands basically get to the ball. The club then hits the ball. There's an angle of the shaft slightly forward as I hit the ball. All right, so like I said, that's happening due to the club releasing properly. So if you don't have forward shaft lean in your swing, you are definitely hitting the golf ball with your arms, not your body. You are buckling your lead arm. So you are doing a chicken wing. You could also be kind of hanging back too. Anything that's going to, like that, is going to cause the shaft to go backwards. And another telltale sign that you're doing it is, or that you're not getting forward shaft lean, would be a very high ball flight, and you don't get that nice compressed sound on your shots. All right, so we want the club leaning forward so the club is descending. You're de-lofting your golf club. If the club is descending and you're de-lofting the club, you're gonna get that nice compressed sound. You're gonna hit those irons nice and pure. So how do we go about getting the forward shaft lean? Well, first off, you stop trying to do it. Okay, if I went like this and just held this angle, yes, I could get the lean. But the problem is I'm never completing my golf swing. I'm never fully releasing the golf club. I'm locking everything up as I hit the ball. Well, if, like I said, if you do that too much, you're gonna hit thin and top shots. If you keep the face open, you're gonna hit pushes and push fades, maybe even slices. And good luck trying to do that with a driver. You do that with a driver, you're probably not even gonna get it airborne. So now you'd have one swing with your irons, you'd have a completely different swing with your driver. And that is not what we want. We want basically one swing that is changing due to the length of the golf clubs. All right, so first thing we gotta do, we've got to loosen our wrists. This is why I am so big on hinging and rehinging the golf club. All right, it's a hinge in your wrists. A hinge in life is loose. It hinges, it rehinges. Remember, feet together, it's going to hinge. It's going to come back to where it started, and then it's going to rehinge on this side. It hinges, it rehinges. So maybe just sit there, have your feet together for a second. Maybe you've hit balls like that. Okay, you hit them pretty well with your feet together. As soon as you spread your feet apart, you can't do it. Well, that's because you have one axis. Everything is happening right here, right at the ball. You're going to hinge, you're going to rehinge right here. Okay, just get that sensation back and forth. You can grip down on your golf club. You touch the shaft of the club with your index finger right here. You've got an indicator. You're going to think of the butt of the club. You hinge, make like a letter L, and then you're going to do a backwards L on this side. See, backwards L. L, backwards L. You're not going to go like this and lock that angle because you're trying to get that club leaning. You do that, you know, you're going to be all locked into your through swing. All right, so hinge in your mind. Think hinge, rehinge, hinge, rehinge. Okay, so that is like step one. You got to loosen that hinge. That alone will make you hit the ball so much longer and so much more solidly than you've ever hit it in your life that, you know, as soon as you see a few shots like that, surely you'll want to keep doing that long into the future. Now, it's attaching this arm unit, hinging and rehinging, hinging, rehinging, to your body, which is coiling and uncoiling. Okay, now just understand, when you go to use your body, we are building two axes in our swing. So what that means is, if I'm standing here, I've got my head between my 2 feet. I'm going to move my head over here. Now I'm going to keep it here as I swing down and through. So I need this angle. And yes, there is a little movement forward, okay? But for the sake of this demonstration, we are keeping our head back here so we get tilted on this angle as we hit the ball. You do not want to be here, straight up and down. You certainly don't want to be here. Okay, I'm trying to get you this angle as you hit the ball. Then you're going to go to a vertical position over your forward leg. So right here, easy way to kind of get this. We're going to use our feet as a guide. We're going to take our head, we're going to move it back here. Okay, so we're going to hit the top of our backswing. Feels like our nose is over our instep. We're going to keep it there as we hit the ball. So like this, we're going to move our head here. We're going to keep it here. Then we're going to move our head over this forward foot. So that will start to get you the tilt that we need, this backwards tilt as we hit the ball. Okay, so forward shaft lean is tricky. That's because, you know, it's seen in better players' swings. So if you want forward shaft lean in your golf swing, you have to start doing what better players do. Well, better players are not all locked up. They're not doing a chicken wing. Okay, we're hinging and rehinging our golf club. That's our release. Okay, that's what gives us a lot of power. But then that's connected to our body, which is coiling and uncoiling. We're not just sitting here trying to hit it with our arms. We're using our body to hit the golf ball. When you use your body, that creates the tilt, which moves the letter Y past the ball and gets your club leaning forward through impact. All right? Hopefully you understand this. It's a little tricky, a little more advanced tip. So if you have to watch this a few times to truly grasp the concept, then please do so. But just understand, forward shaft lean is vital, because that's going to give you that nice compressed sound on your shots. It's going to de-loft your golf clubs, all right? But you can't be manually trying to do that, okay? If you do, you're gonna be solely using your arms to hit the ball, and you will lock everything up, okay? And that is gonna lead to thin top shots and potentially push fades. All right, so hopefully you enjoyed this tip, and you're going to start working on trying to get this forward shaft lean in your golf swing. I truly hope you've enjoyed this tip. You know, I've been teaching a powerful, effortless, pain-free golf swing now since 1991. If you'd like to learn this type of swing, then head on over to bodyswing.com/free samples, click the link up here or in the description below, and I'll send you some free samples of my Body Swing book and video series that take you step by step through how to build a powerful, effortless, pain-free golf swing. So once again, head on over to bodyswing.com/free samples, click the link up here or in the description below, and I'll send you the free samples right away.